Coach Andrew Wingreen brings back almost his entire core group from last season. Drew Lutz signs on as an assistant coach, spikes in a couple of key transfers, and New College of Florida, they're ready to play some Sun Conference basketball. Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Coach Andrew Wingreen, he's been coaching college basketball for 15 years. He's beginning his 16th season as the head coach of New College of Florida. Last year was their inaugural year. Of course, that was kind of their entrance year. They weren't officially in the NAI. This year, though, they're in the Sun Conference. He's going to talk about his background. He was a long time at Stetson. He's been around a few other places. We'll talk about that. But New College of Florida, they're located there in Sarasota, Florida, right on the beach, which is probably good until hurricane time, but it's a beautiful campus. They're going to talk about that. Coach Wingreen, talking to him, it certainly feels like the program is geared up, ready to go to at least compete in that Sun Conference in their first year. He's doing all the right things. Why don't we just take a listen to Coach Andrew Wingreen, and along with him is Drew Lutz, the Bethel Pilot great, one of the best guys in NAI basketball. So let's take a listen to these two, and we're going to talk some Banyan basketball. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, I got Andrew Wingreen. He's the head men's basketball coach at New College, Florida, the Banyans. And then with him is his new assistant, Drew Lutz. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So last season was your inaugural season. You've entered the NAI. Congratulations and welcome to the NAI to everybody at New College of Florida. You're going to love NAI basketball and Sun Conference basketball. We're going to talk about that, but very competitive league. The fans there are really going to love it. Coach, I want to start by just talking about your background a little bit and how you ended up, what brought you to New College. So you've been around the coaching game. This is going into your 16th year by my count. You've been on the staff at Stetson. You've been the head coach down at Lancaster. You've coached some NAI ball as assistant up at Bethel with the Pilots. Just talk a little bit about your background and what brought you to New College.
Yeah, definitely been around to a few different places and have really enjoyed every stop. But, like you said, I've spent some time at a lot of small colleges, Division III, NAI, and it really became one of my favorite levels to coach at. I just feel like the small college atmosphere is fun, and just being able to have great relationships with your players, and they do it for the love of the game. And sometimes guys at the Division I level do as well, but there's just some other things you go through and look at there. But I've been thankful for every spot we've been at. Like you said, came from Stetson University, which is a Division I school in the A-Sun Conference here in Florida. Was there for 4 years with Donnie Jones and learned a ton. He was a great man, great coach, and really helped me kind of mold some of my coaching philosophy and do things a different way, just being able to see him lead and how he worked with people. So I was thankful for that. And then, prior to that was a Division III head coach up in Pennsylvania. Was very young at the time, and learned a lot, what to do, what not to do. And I think that, was a good experience. And I was able to take a lot of those things in with me here to New College, just to make sure we, get this thing off on the right foot and set a great culture here. But yeah, it's been a fun journey, and I actually like to call it an adventure because adventures you go on with other people and journeys you do by yourself. And so this adventure here at New College has been fun, and looking forward to see what God does here.
So when you came to New College of Florida, you'd had 14 years of coaching at various different levels under your belt. When you came to New College, you said to yourself, at New College, the 2 or 3 things I want to accomplish are.
Yeah, so first and foremost, I think my calling here was go be a light. And I wanted to be a light for myself, like with our team, with the community, and just be able to shine something different. And for me, that's my faith. And so that was a big thing. Just with anything I do, I want to be a light. But as we built our program, I wanted to find like-minded people around us. So like putting a staff together, and last year we had to build everything from scratch. So no roster, no schedule, no facility. I mean, everything was done from scratch. And so first and foremost, I needed to make sure we had the right people around us, because these are the ones who you work with every day. They're the ones who, you have to interact with. And so finding those like-minded people who could also be shining lights in our community, who wanted to do it for a bigger purpose. Obviously, we don't have all the flashy prestige or the tradition or the facilities. So we had to find guys who wanted to come in, set a standard, create a vision, and just build something from scratch. And so I think ultimately we found those right people, and we were able to lay that foundation, and now we have something solid to build on. So winning is obviously something we want to do, but it wasn't the focus. I think if we came in last year saying we want to win a bunch of games, it could have been detrimental. But setting this culture off on the right foot with the right people was the first priority.
Drew, I want to switch over to you. When you signed up there at New College of Florida, it made a splash. It really helped put them on the basketball map to sign you on as come down as assistant coach. You had just an unbelievable career in your own right. I think everybody knows. I have a huge amount of respect for you, Drew Lutz. We awarded you last season our Kyle Mangus Award, which to me is the most prestigious award you can get. Kyle and I Kyle was kind enough to let me put his name on that award to the person who most emulates his qualities, which is, I think, the ultimate compliment to any player in NAI basketball. But what were the things that drew you to New College of Florida?
Yeah, well, first of all, I really appreciate those words and giving me that award. Meant a lot. Kyle's an excellent player and even better person, so I appreciate that. But yeah, just you heard what Coach Wingreen said about what he's trying to build and the person he is. He coached my brother at Bethel, so I knew him from that, and They had a great relationship, and we built relationships. So I trusted him. I knew the type of person he was, and I know where his heart is at and what he wants to do with building relationships and building men. So that's kind of what drew me. And the weather's not too bad either. It's pretty beautiful here.
So New College of Florida is located in Sarasota, Florida. It's on a beautiful campus, about 700 students, 100 faculty. So it's a great ratio. It seems like just an idyllic setting looking at it on the internet.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. I mean, it's located right on the water. And so when you bring people on campus here, it's just an instant, they're drawn to it, and it's an easy sell from location standpoint. Obviously, this part of the country, Sarasota specifically, has some of the best beaches, not only in the country, but in the world. And so it's beautiful. Yeah, the college has been here since 1960. And so it's well established, has a very, great reputation in the academic world. And so students are getting not only a great education, but they get to live in a beautiful area as well. And so we think we're set up for a lot of success as we, continue to build this athletic program that, people will want to come here and want to be part of something really special.
So last season, you had your inaugural season. You were able to win 7 games, but you were competitive for most of the season. You had a close loss to Florida Memorial, number 17 in the nation at the time. And Coach, you have a lot of those players back. I'd like to talk about a couple of them.
Yeah.
The guy who really caught my eye is Jack Scott. He's 6'9", junior, I think, this year. Started in every game last year, averaged almost 11.7 rebounds. Talk about his game.
Yeah, I mean, Jack has been an incredible player for us. He was actually our first ever recruit in the program. And so he was the guy who made the first decision to say, hey, I want to come be a part of something special, and I want to, be on the forefront of this. And so I have a lot of respect for him. Just, it's not an easy decision to come to a place where there's nothing and to make it into something. And so his leadership's been great. And on the floor, first semester, he struggled a little bit. He was battling some injuries, and we were just trying to keep him healthy. And then after Christmas break, he came back and was just a new guy. I mean, his body was feeling better. And when he was healthy, he was just such a good player. We used him a lot in, pick and pop situations. He's such a high IQ player that he makes great reads and ball screens. And so we were able to get him involved a lot. And then when he started, hitting shots, he was hard to stop. So he's definitely a matchup problem, 6'9", but can stretch the floor and can also play down around the basket. He was definitely a blessing to have in our program this last year.
And then you're bringing back two other guys that started every game for you last season, Sean LaFrenne, a 6'2 junior, and Jordan Clark, a 6'3 senior, both started every game for you last season.
Yeah, they did. And they're both pretty local guys. Jordan lives right here in Sarasota, right down the road from the school. And Sean's about 45 minutes away. So, they've been great to, help the community get involved. They brought a lot of fans, and they're both just great players. They work really hard. Jordan, his experience and his leadership has been so important for our program, and he's just the kind of guy who can go in and score in multiple different ways. He defends, he can shoot, he can get to the rim, and so Jordan, he's a great leader and a great guy to have on our team. And then Sean, lefty shooter. Definitely, he's been working on his shot a lot this summer, and so I'm excited to see him improve his three-point shooting. But he's also a guy who's changed his body this summer, and I think he's going to come in and be able to have a big role for us once again. So really thankful. I mean, all three of those guys, Jordan, Jack, and Sean, are all going to be significant contributors to our team again this year.
I noticed when I was reading about the school, you're a state school, so you have a real advantage recruiting in-state. The tuition's very reasonable for in-state students. I noticed on your roster too, it looks like you try to primarily just go in-state.
Yeah, I mean, we're, obviously we love to recruit Florida kids, and we want to try and keep as many kids in the state as possible. Like you said, being a state university, that does allow us to give them a great tuition. But, we're just, again, the main goal is trying to find the best people who can help us win, and just high character guys who can build a culture with. And so we do feel like there's a lot of those kids in Florida that we can go get. But as a lot of our rosters from out of state as well. And so if we can get the right kids and find a way to get them down here, we want to just have the best people possible on our roster.
I want to ask you about one other player you had last year, Giovanni Toscanini. He's a sophomore. He shot the heck out of the ball. He shot 55% last season, played 19 minutes a game.
Yeah, Gio, he's just one of those guys who's the ultimate glue guy for us. I wouldn't say he's just elite at any one thing, but he does so many things well. He'll defend. He's strong. He's an undersized forward. But he can, he's very good getting to his left hand, getting downhill to the rim. And so we use him in a lot of various matchup situations, but he's just a kid who's going to give everything he has every possession. He'll take charges, he'll rebound, he runs the floor, brings energy. And so, having guys like Gio are so crucial to your success, because you need guys who are willing to do the dirty work, and he's done that for us.
I know you've picked up a couple of transfers this year, but one that really made a splash in the NAI world is Charlie Yoder. Drew, he's a guy that he's a legend out of Westview High School's leading scorer in their history there, just 45 minutes where you grew up. He played at St. Francis, averaged 17.6 rebounds over there. Talk about what it means to get Charlie Yoder down there.
Yeah, I was excited about Charlie. Charlie and I played together at Incarnate Word before he was at St. Francis, and we were like best friends there. So that was fun, and he's looking to still play. And yeah, excited to get him down here in Florida. He's a great culture guy, and he works his tail off. And I'm excited to see what he can do and have fun playing basketball down here.
Drew, you got a few of your Incarnate Word teammates floating around the NAI. You and I talked about, Dakota Reber is at Oregon Tech. Now you get Charlie Yoder down there. You keep track of them, your old teammates from there?
Yeah, I keep track and try to keep those relationships. They're all great guys. So I'm excited to see what they can do. They've already made splashes at the programs they're at. So it's been cool to follow along and see what they're doing.
I don't know. It's just kind of a cool story. Coach, talk about Charlie Yoder and why you brought him down there.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely echo everything Drew said. When I was at Bethel, I think Charlie was maybe a sophomore going into his junior year or something like that. So I've been able to, recruit Charlie and watch him play at Westview. And I tell people all the time that's one of my favorite places to go recruit basketball because it's in Amish country. And the first time I ever went to go see Charlie was in a blizzard, and I'm driving through and I pull around the corner to go to the gym, and there was just a ton of horse and buggies parked in the parking lot there, and the atmosphere was incredible. And so, I've known Charlie for a while, but yeah, he's everything you want in a player. He's humble, but he works hard. He has, the character that you want to relate to people, but he can also go out on the floor and just, be a dominant figure because of all the things he can do. He can shoot, he can drive, he can post up, he can defend, he can rebound. And so having a guy like him on the court is amazing, but I'm just excited for his leadership and how he's been able to, even this summer, be able to come in and just lead our guys and show them what it means to be, a professional on the court, because that's kind of how he carries himself, is that way. And so we're super pumped to have Charlie with us, and he's going to bring a lot to our team.
And then you had a couple good signings this season. Caleb, I'm going to say his name wrong, Kozinski.
That's perfect.
He was out of IMG Academy there in Florida, and he went up to Marquette, played some D1 ball. Talk about his game.
Yeah, we're excited to have Caleb with us. He's, again, just the epitome of what it means to be a character kid, and he leads well. He's not afraid to talk. Obviously, his experience at Marquette, being able to go head to head with Tyler Kolek every day in practice, being able to be coached by a guy like Shaka Smart. Mm-hmm. He's just been around success. And, one thing that I learned from Donnie Jones when I was at Stetson was that success leaves clues. And so with guys like Caleb, guys like Charlie, they've been there. They've been in some big situations around success. And so Caleb's experience is going to be huge for us. And even though he didn't play a ton at Marquette, just his, every day he was in the mix, and he's going to bring that competitiveness, that fire. And again, just a guy who's going to not be afraid to step up and lead. And I think, when things get tough and teams go on runs against us, we have some really solid guys who can bring the group back together and keep us on track. So yeah, he's going to be a great fit for what we're trying to do.
And then to kind of round out your recruit, you brought a couple guys from Slam Tampa. What is Slam Tampa?
Yeah, it's like a prep school. It stands for Sports Leadership and Management, actually. Yeah, it's a great program up there, and they have a lot of good players come out of there. So both Jonathan Oladude and Adrian Moore are from Slam, and we watch those guys play, and they're skilled, they have talent, but the thing that really jumped off with them was the way they talk. I mean, on the floor, just relentless on defense, flying around, constant communication. They're the first ones on the bench to jump up and cheer for their teammates. They're the guys who are picking people up off the floor. And I think those kind of characteristics are so valuable in building a culture and sustaining success. And so we're really excited to have those guys with us. And then Diego Eslava is our last guy we're bringing in this year, and he's from Spain, but he also played prep school at 212 Academy, which is located here in Sarasota. And so he's an elite shooter, and really just look forward to having a guy like him who can, again, space the floor and be able to be the recipient of, our guys who can get downhill and get him the ball so he can make some shots.
So last season, your initial season, I was teasing Drew a little bit about you guys really struggled from the 3-point line. What are the learnings that you had from last season that you're going to bring forward to this season with this new group? And what will you need to do to be competitive?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that our team really learned last year was how important it is to consistently get reps in and get, go in and make shots in your off time and practice. One thing that about our team, like, we don't have our own facility on campus. So we rent a facility off campus. We don't have 24/7 access to a gym. We don't have 24/7 access to a shooting machine. And so there's some things we I think at first it was like a crutch. It was like, man, we can make an excuse that we don't have this stuff. And our guys just realized, hey, we have to do this together. We have to hold each other accountable. We got to be efficient when we have time. We got to go make the most of it and, get groups together so we can rebound for each other. And that's how we ultimately just found ways to get our shots up, get makes, and really just build our reps. So I think this whole summer we've had the guys on shooting programs, and we've really pushed it. We've had some competitive stuff going on this summer, and so we struggled shooting the basketball last year from outside. I think we were like 27 or 28% from three, and so just really look to improve on that, because we have a lot of guys who can get to the rim, and so if we can collapse defenses and now have guys who can make shots, it's going to really change the game for us.
Hey, Drew, you played up in the Crossroads, one of the most competitive conferences and arguably the best conference in the NAI, but a lot of people would argue that, but still one of the most competitive. As you look around the Sun Conference, it's pretty tough, isn't it?
For sure. Yeah, it's tough. We at Bethel actually got the chance to come down here and play a couple of games, and just the level of basketball down here, it's very competitive, and it's a fun brand of basketball as well.
How did you guys get in the Sun Conference so fast coming into the NAI? Was it just because you're a state school and the school's been around so long?
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't know all the details behind that, but I do know, New College put a lot of effort forth to make sure we had everything ready for NAI to join the Sun Conference. Just making sure we had quality facilities, even though we were renting some off campus. Like, we're in quality places. We're hiring the people who can, do compliance and be liaisons with our academics. And so I think New College really was given the resources and put forth the effort to do everything that the NAI and the Sun Conference required. And so when the conference and the NAI saw that, we were willing and ready to be all in. I think it was just a no-brainer to have, another school in the Sun Conference and let us join. So we're super thankful, and we had to go through a lot of process with both the conference and the NAI. They all came down for campus visits, and we had a lot of meetings, and ultimately, they voted to let us join, and so we're super excited to be part of it.
So I have a question really for both of you. I'd like to hear both of you guys' take on this, but being the initial year into the Sun Conference, into the NAI, what will success look like?
Yeah, I think being competitive, like you said, last year, our win-loss record wasn't great, but we were in a lot of games, and we competed with, Florida Memorial, who was top 20. We competed with Florida College, who was top 20. We competed with St. Thomas, who was top 25. And so I think we're close. We definitely were inconsistent last year. And so as we, go into this next year, into the conference, our biggest thing to, I think, measure success is how consistent can we be? Like, let's bring it every single day. Let's make sure we don't beat ourselves. Just have this consistency. And I think if we're a consistent team, that's going to allow us to be competitive night in and night out. And so this team is capable of a lot. I think, we expect to come in and win. We expect to, be competitive. And so the goal for us is just to be the most consistent team that we can be this year.
Drew, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Coach says. I mean, we've had a lot of talks about that, and that's what we've kind of talked about, but also just not even just the wins and losses, like competing throughout every day in practice, like that consistency we talked about, and then just how we carry ourselves as well. I think that's going to tell us a lot with trying to build the right culture and trying to build and establish something. I think that consistency of every day showing up, giving your best, and being the best person you can be will measure our success at the end of the season.
Coach, tell fans in the Sun Conference and they're at New College, what can they expect?
Yeah, I mean, we're so thankful for the fans and the support that we've had. And I think the three things we always talk about in our program are love, serve, and compete. And so when you come watch, New College play basketball, my goal and our prayer as a staff and amongst our team is that you'll see a bunch of guys who love each other, who are there to serve each other, and who are there to compete. And, we can do this on the basketball court. We can do this in the community. We can do this in every aspect, in academics. But, we obviously want to win a bunch of games and be the best we possibly can be, compete for championships. But when you come out, you're going to see a group with energy, who love each other, serve each other, compete for each other. And then, we talk a lot about this idea of energy elevates and just being contagious, of bringing the right energy, the positive energy, and being able to, create momentum and some headway with how we approach every single day. So that's what I think people will see is a group of guys who are just having fun and working really hard at what we do.
Hey, Drew, it's August now. This will be the first season you haven't competed in a high level of basketball for many, many, many years. What does it feel like knowing you're not getting ready to put on the sneakers and play yourself?
It is a little weird. I don't feel as in good a shape as usual. I'll tell you that much. But it's been cool already. Like working out some of the guys. I'm excited to kind of get the focus off myself, but also just serve and give back to these guys because this time it's a fun time in your life, and so they deserve all the attention. And so I'm excited just to hopefully give some knowledge that I have and hopefully can help them get better. But it's been fun already, and I'm excited for preseason and season and just how I can love and serve these guys.
I agree so much with you, Drew. I tell guys all the time, enjoy every second. It's such a gift. It's a gift to be able to play college basketball. And, some nights you're going to win, some nights you're going to lose, you're going to have heartbreak, but every second is a gift. It is gone in an instant.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Enjoy it for sure.
Coach, make your pitch to the fans. Get those fans out there and fill the gym for New College.
Come support these guys because, like Drew said, we've overcome a lot with this startup program, and just these guys have put so much effort, so much work, so much passion into it, and they've done it the right way. They've worked their butts off in the classroom. They've been out in the community serving, and so when they go out and play. We've had some great turnouts last year, but now that we're in the conference and we're getting ready to gear up for this full season of NAI basketball, I think it's going to be a great, fun time. We're going to try and make it a party atmosphere and have a lot of winning success on the court, but it's going to be a great time to bring your family out, to bring friends out, and just like Drew said, man, just give these guys a lot of attention and support them because they're doing everything that's been asked of them and more. So it's going to be a fun season.
Can you direct people? I know you have a newsletter. Can you direct people how to get that newsletter if they want to track you guys in your initial season?
Yeah, so I think the best way to follow our program would be through our social media account. So it's NCF Banyans MBB. That's Twitter and Instagram. And then we have a link for our newsletter on those social media pages. And so, any way people want to be involved, if they want to just kind of hear what's going on, what we've been doing, those are great ways to follow along. Obviously, if anyone's looking to support our program, there's some ways to do that as well. And so, we're just welcoming all new Mighty Banyans fans. And I think it's been really cool to see just the support we've had across the country and the things they're saying about our logo and the nickname. It's been a fun time. And so we're excited to have people continue to support us.
And that's my last question. Tell everybody what a banyan is.
So a banyan is a tree where the roots, kind of grow from the top down into the ground, and they're an absolutely beautiful tree. They're all over this area in Sarasota. We have some huge ones on campus. And so there was a student when we announced we were starting athletics, there was a student who was just drawing a picture of the banyan tree, and they made it look like the person flexing its muscles. And so they ended up pitching that idea that this was the Mighty Banyans, and that was ultimately what was voted on. And it signifies like strength.
Okay.
They're very resilient trees. They are strong trees. They're connected with all their roots, and obviously they're rooted deep into the ground. And so I think when you start talking about culture and just what we're trying to do, there's so many significant things we can compare to the banyan tree that is powerful and really is something we can look forward to being a connected group that's strong and resilient. So the Mighty Banyans, we're here and excited to be part of NAI and Sun Conference.
Well, Coach Wingreen and Drew Lutz, I really appreciate you guys giving me a few minutes this morning to talk about Banyan basketball. Everybody's excited for you to join the Sun Conference. I bet you guys are excited to get going as well, huh?
For sure. Very excited. We appreciate your time, Billy D.
Yeah. I said this to you before we started recording, but thank you so much for just the work you do to cover NAI basketball, to take time out of your day to talk to us and get our name out there. It really does mean a lot having people like you who cover this sport. And so thank you for doing all that you do to make us look good.
Wow, that's very kind. But thank you guys for the time. Good luck as the season starts, and hopefully I can get you guys on as the season gets going and you get right in the middle of that Sun Conference battle.
Yeah, we would love to anytime. So thank you so much.
That's Andrew Wingreen and Drew Lutz. They're coach and assistant coach at New College of Florida, the Banyans. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much to Andrew Wingreen. He's the head coach there at New College of Florida, and then Drew Lutz, the assistant, for joining us. Thank you to New College of Florida for letting us talk to them. I think they're going to be a great addition to the Sun Conference. We touched on this in the interview, but they have 700 students. They have 100 faculty. They have a great student to faculty ratio. The school has an excellent academic reputation. They've been around for 60 years. They've been a state school for 50 years, so it's definitely an established school. They're just joining, obviously, the NAI in basketball, but again, I think they'll be a great addition to the Sun Conference. Hey, thanks a lot for listening. One other thing, I want to start a new feature this year with the shows. Just ask me anything. Just ask Billy D. Send a question. You can do it on the Twitter DM. You can send me a question on CascadeHoopsTalk@gmail.com. Either one, and I'll try to get those out there. Put your name up there, put your question up there, and try to get it answered. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAI school, because NAI basketball is the best entertainment value in America.